guys, it feels good to win. Oh, man.
You answered my first question.
Feels good. Mike, feels good. January was tough. But I tell you what, like our group, they never wavered. They came to practice every day, and they worked, and they believed in what we were telling them. They were in the gym on their own, getting shots up. And today, you know, our focus was to win every quarter. Just win every quarter. Don't go win a basketball game, win every quarter. And I know we didn't do that in the third and the fourth quarter. But to be resilient enough to go 2 for 16 in the fourth quarter and find a way to get it done in overtime. Everybody, every timeout, no deer in headlights, chins were up, no pouty faces, 1 through 13. Everybody was bought in to making sure Purdue had more points than Illinois tonight. And we were finally able to do that.
This is a grown-up moment for Mary Ashley. I mean, we've been seeing it
Yeah.
kind of steadily come, but did she pop the top off tonight?
Man, I hope not. I hope she's got a lot more in that tank. Just tough. I don't know if she told you guys in here or not, but she almost didn't play today. Last Thursday when she went to the doctor and told her nose is broken, you know, obviously that's a big, 18 years old, like, it's a big thing. And mentally just kind of, I think, overwhelmed her a little bit. Her and I had a great chat for about an hour or so that night, Thursday night in my office. Kind of reminded me of those car rides I used to have with Coach Curry back in the day, my freshman year. By the way, congratulations to her. I think she 500. She got her 500th win today, so big congrats to Coach. But you know, and I left that night here. I called my staff and I was like, hey, you know, MA's not going to play on Monday, so game plan wise, let's start thinking about who we start. You know, what does that change? What does that do to us? Text the next morning. I wake up to a text. I'm playing. I thought about this. I talked about it with my parents. I'm not letting my team down. Boy, am I glad she played today.
Say when I talked to her Sunday, she seemed
yeah,
fine
she was locked in. Yeah, that was Thursday, right? Yeah, Thursday night, Friday morning. I woke up to that text. She practiced Friday. She practiced Saturday. She practiced Sunday, and it was pretty damn good today.
500 seems to be a theme. Janae gets career assist 500 wins in Mackey Arena. Your former coach gets 500, so
we'll take it.
You'll take
all day, every day. 500 is a great number. If I was allowed to bet, I'd probably go throw something 500 on something. I don't know, but.
Right. But I mean, well, you talked about Mary Ashley, but what Janae did with her playmaking ability and finding shooters, but also the combination of Madison and Caitlin, kind of when you needed them maybe to hit a big shot or two.
Yeah, Janae was really good all 45 minutes. I told her to probably make that free throw and chase down a rebound there in the fourth quarter when we gave up so many offensive rebounds. But just she was really, really special. I think the backdoor cut from Madison when we were down by 1 with about a minute and a half in overtime was really, really good. Great cut by Mads and finish. You know, that's just something that Janae does. Like, you just kind of expect it. Because she's so special. Madison goes on a little heater in the third quarter and scores about 7 points in a row. And then all of a sudden we just go ice cold from outside. I think Madison and Abby had some great looks. And then in fourth quarter we made one little adjustment, so the extra pass was going to Caitlin in the corner, and she knocked it down to push it to 4.
Just one more. I mean, Illinois gets 21 offensive rebounds, but they only score 8 second chance points. How much did you guys maybe play a role into keeping them from getting more there?
Yeah, obviously you don't want to give up 21 offensive rebounds. You know, they did miss a lot of shots, and you know, Mackenzie, man, she was just flying in and chasing things down. I mean, she had 12 of those, and I think one possession, I think they had 5 or 6 offensive rebounds on that same possession, but I don't think they scored on it. A lot in practice. Our prep was, because we knew it was going to be tough to keep in a zone, it's tough to rebound in a zone. But keeping McKenzie, Hobby, and Bostic off the glass, just making sure we were walling up and not giving up and ones, but making sure they were just shooting the ball over top of 4-6 hands, and we were able to do that. I think they had 3 second chance points at halftime, and then 5 in another 25 minutes. So, but if you look at us, I thought we were monsters on the glass, and MA, JT, Caitlin, able to get us some second chance points.
Coach, one of the themes defensively has been, teams getting, 2 or 3 3-pointers, but today, especially in that first half, held them below 25%. What was it about the way your team was able to maybe come in off the help to the contest that was maybe better than what had been that had been in the previous 7 games?
Yeah, Illinois is not that's not their bread and butter, and so that plays into it. But I thought we were pretty locked in on knowing where Genesis Bryant was. I know Makaira hit her first one, but those are the 2 we were talking about. Just make them play in a crowd. Bryant goes 2 for 9 from the 3, and then our goal today was to make sure Cook took more shots than she had points, and we did our job there. Bostic, I think she was 2 for 7 on the year, I think maybe from 3, something like that, and steps out and hits 2. And we talked about, obviously she's an Indiana kid, playing against Madison and McKenna. She was going to come out. That kid had a really, really, really special game. But yeah, I just played percentages. I'm not a big analytic person, but played percentages and tried to make some kids shoot it who weren't necessarily their 3-point threats.
Coach, it really seemed like this team played with a lot more just freedom and joy. It seemed like in that first half. What was something that you've been talking about just in the couple of days leading up to this game, knowing sort of the slide that you were on and knowing what you had to do to sort of end it?
Just before the game, he told him, tear up the stat sheet, tear up the 9-12 record. It's a fresh start. Let's see if we can make February our month. Can't do anything about the past. All we can do is live in a moment. And I tell you, these kids have come to work, and they have practiced really hard. Well, they practiced hard on Saturday, not great. So they responded on Sunday and came out just forget about winning, forget about losing, just play basketball. And we just kept saying win the quarter, win the quarter, and forget about winning the game. Kind of take the pressure off of us to just win the quarter, win the moment, win the play, and we did enough of that today.
Seemed like Madison had been on a little bit of a slump until that third quarter where she just all of a sudden the pull-up jumper, the threes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think was the thing from her that just maybe
I think at halftime I called her over to me. I was like, look, it's a little flat. Give it a little bit more lift, but you got to keep shooting it. You're playing too well on the defensive end for us. If you don't shoot it, I'm not going to play you. So you might as well shoot it so I can play you because we needed you on the defensive end. And 5 for 17 isn't great, right? 2 for 9 isn't great, but the little stretch was massive when we needed it. But then when she shoots it, it allows Mary Ashley, JT, and Caitlin to go get an offensive rebound because the attention is to Madison and to Abby. I know they don't shoot it well together with their 7 of 29, but that allows the other 3 to go get an offensive rebound, and they clean things up for them today.
And last question, and just, what you saw out of Mary Ashley Stevenson tonight. Knowing the amount of pain that she was in, to be that young and to handle the moment with such maturity. What does that speak about her and what the future is right now with this program?
Yeah, she's just, she's mature. You talk to her, she's about to turn 19, but it's hard to believe that she's 18 years old. She's tough. She physically fits the part. She's out there with a 6th year, 2 5th years, and a senior, and she doesn't look out of place. She looks like she belongs, and I thought it from the very first minute she went into the game at UCLA. She looked like she belonged. And I'll tell you what, the kid takes hard coaching. She lets me get on her in games. She responds, great eye contact, loves Purdue, believes in Purdue. And I think Purdue is in for a very special ride with number 20 for the next 3 years. Thanks.
You talked about Bostic. How did you feel about that? Were you kind of feeling like, okay, we're going to pick our poison here?
Yeah. I mean, you just play percentage, and she was really good inside. The 2 threes came off. I think Madison closed out short like we asked her to do. She hit it. Her second one came late shot clock, and I think it was MA closed out short. But then MA just understanding, late clock, everybody's a shooter. We got to get out of them. And then kind of accumulating knowledge as the game goes on. Okay, their non-shooter hit one. I got to get out on her a little bit. But I think that's just part of MA's growth. And then I think as she only got 2, and a couple of the times we did close out hard and made her put the ball on the floor. Gretchen Dolan's was a corner 3 off of Rashunda's not supposed to go ball side and help, and she did. That was a corner 3. Cook hit her first one, missed the next 4. That's what we were doing. That's the percentages we were playing. But credit Kendall, she stepped up and had a really good game for them.
And I want to ask you about a play from Janae. She could have got her 10th point on a transition layup, but she passed it to Abby behind her back. Were you expecting that from her?
Yeah, because she's gonna pass it every time. You could probably part the Red Sea and she'd try to find an assist. That's who she is. I've seen it for 3 years, and I think she tried to drop one off to Jayla too in the first half. But that's just who Janae has been her whole life, and it helps when we knock down shots for her. But she had a pretty special floor game.
Camille Hobby has been maybe Illinois' hottest hand over the past 6 games, and you guys held her to just 5 points. Mm-hmm. What was the game plan heading into tonight, and how did you execute that?
Go at her. I thought if we could go at her and get her in foul trouble, that could help us. And she didn't pick up any fouls, but I think she looked a little frustrated trying to guard Caitlin. I think in the first half, what did we have? 33 points at halftime. We had 22 in the paint. So I think a little frustration on their part and then our zone probably slowed that down because they went small and put shooters on the floor. So it was either Kendall or Hobby. They didn't have them both on the floor a lot against our zone.